Hello, and I'm back. What I wanted to do is go over um, probably the most widely used spread in tarot, which would be the Celtic cross. Now, I've got them kind of jammed up here together simply because of the fact that I can't get them in my camera real well. But I wanted to go over how I actually use the spread and some really good details that are going to help you out with with reading and understanding the spread a lot more. Like I said, this is the most widely used spread, and it can be used really for anything. It's excellent for general questions or a general reading of what's going on. I also find it for many other questions. I mean, it's probably the most versatile spread um, that I found, or that anybody will really find. There's a lot of others, but I want to go over it because there's a lot of times I feel that there's a lot of connections that are missed, and especially when you're doing a reading, people will get nervous and you'll forget things. But in time, if you keep using the same technique and looking at the same things, it's going to help you out a whole lot. So what I want to do is go ahead and go over this. Now I can't really see myself in the camera because the way I'm sitting, the way I've got everything set up. So hopefully everything is going to come out okay. Um, like the Celtic cross, like I said, is probably the oldest and this is the most popular pattern of tarot reader that you're going to find. It's been around for a long time, simply because it is simple and you can it's a very powerful spread. You can get a lot of it. Now you can think of this spread as being set up in two different sections. If you'll see here, and I've got the like I said, the cards kind of squeezed together. I'm getting everything, but you have your actual cross here, and then you have another section over here, and this would be your staff. Now, this circle cross section is made up of two crosses. There's an inner cross, which you're going to have these spread out, which this is the inner cross, and there is the outer cross. Okay. Now, actually, what I really need to do is go over the actual meanings of each position, what each position means. But um, your central cross is extremely important. A more this is considered the feminine energy, and what the focus is, what's going on in your life right at this current moment. And this would be more, the staff is more the masculine, what's going on the outside when it comes to a reading. And this very central cross right here between these two cards, this is like the hub. This is the center of what's going on, and everything else plays. But this is your main role here, and your feminine. Like I said, it's more the feminine aspect. Um, the larger cross that I was of all these here is going to consist of two lines that are extremely important. You have your larger cross and your mini cross. Your mini cross is the heart of what's really going on. Your larger cross, these cards need to be read together. This one in your central situation here, and these give you a very good clue of what's going on and help you out a lot. Now, as a lot of people know, that I use the numbers, and I would highly suggest this. Understand and learn about the numbers. It doesn't necessarily have to be numerology. It can be the numbers dealing with how you understand them as tarot. That's perfectly fine. Helps out a lot when you add the numbers of all the cards up, and whether or not there happens to be a court card in this one, whether or not you want to number the court cards or not is up to you. I personally don't, but you can add those up and break them down to a single digit, and that'll give you a really good picture also of what the spread is meaning for a person and the central issues of a person's life. But anyway, you have your larger spread and your smaller spread. You got your vertical and your horizontal on this here. Um, the positions on these, I know I'll need to go over these to get this more clear. But the card, the staff section, as I mentioned, this is basically what's going on the outside of your life as opposed to what's going on the inside. This is more of what the outside world is seeing, and which the top card is the final outcome card of where your life is going from the choices that you're currently using and that you're currently making. Okay? Now, the way I lay these out, everybody does this a little bit differently. I lay these out right here, my central card. I lay this first, the crossing card, and I use this side as the upright because I read reversals. You can do it whatever works best for you. But this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you come down and use your staff. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, this is the method. Like I said, you'll have some people that go in a different direction with where they lay their third card and what direction they go around the wheel with. Now, the first meaning of the card, first card here. Now, a lot of times I hear people say things like, oh, this is the card which covers you. That doesn't really make any sense to me, personally. I consider this to be the heart of the matter. It can also be your present environment in the outer world or your present environment internally with what's going on with you. But this card is your primary factor of what's going on. Okay, the cross card here. Now, this, when you lay this one out, like I said, I use mine to where I have on the left side of me, if you're using reversals, as the upper part of the card, the upright side of the card. So in this situation, there's a 3 of swords here, so it would be upright. That would to help me out a whole lot there. But this is the opposing factor card. The card that's crossing and creating the issue. Okay, this is something that needs to be worked on that creates a change, or the secondary factor that's added to the central card right here that reinforces this card. But this is your crossing card. Now, the third card, I go to the bottom. And your third card here is going to be, this is more on the subconscious level. This is called the root cause card. This is your unconscious influences. And a lot of times you will find the root cause of the entire situation that's going on. Because it can be on the subconscious level, or you'll see it to be an unknown factor. The person that you're doing a reading for may not recognize this card. And I've had other readers tell me that when this is reversed, it's definitely, but you know, that's with them. It depends. I don't often always get that, but I'm just putting that information out there. But when it's reversed, it's even more hidden. So the person may not recognize this. This is very, very important because this can be a central issue and tell you a lot about if this person is dealing with reality and so forth, or they're simply not grasping what's going on. So, but this is the root cause of what's going on in the Celtic cross. Now, your next card over here, which I go over to my left-hand side, this is your past card, or a factor that's already been resolved and already been went through, and it's something that needs to be let go of. But this is the past, and this is more the immediate past. It's kind of close to you, so it's not too far away. Okay, the top card here is going to be this is more on your attitudes and your beliefs, your conscious influences, what you're thinking on the conscious level, or a goal or a purpose. But this is where your mind is right now. This can also be an alternative future card, which I'm going to go the connection with the cards, because this card goes very well with your final outcome card. The decisions that you make on a conscious level here can influence and will influence, and the same with this card here, which I'll go through, um, of your final outcome. But the current path and energies that are in your life and what you're going along is right here, and going along this main path is going to bring you to where your final outcome is. Okay, this card here, this one is going to be, this is your sixth card right here on the right hand side. This is going to be your future, your immediate future, or the approaching influences within your life that are coming up very soon. Um, and also, this depending on the card, this could be something that you're going to have to embrace, or you make the conscious decision to go a different direction to make this card, the immediate future and the long-term future, come out differently. Now, on the outer wheel, outside the wheel in the staff, right here, your bottom card or your seventh card is going to be you as you are right now. Uh, this is your present self, and as you see yourself, how you see yourself personally, and how you see yourself personally, of course, is always not going to be how others see you. But this is seems to be how you're viewing yourself in your situation that's going on. Now, the eighth card here, this is going to be the outside environment. This is how other people see you, other people's point of view of you, or if it was a relationship, the other person, uh, but your environment of the people around you and how they see you. This card here, this is an important card too that I find makes a difference. Your ninth card is going to be can be a very key factor. It's very important. This is because I always call this the hopes and the fears card. Usually that's what you'll see it, but this is a very key factor in the influence of the last card here, because of the simple fact that this, what you're hoping for internally, and what you fear, you're putting off that energy, so it's definitely going to have an effect, because everything is energy on the outcome. So this is your hopes and fears, and it's also a card of guidance to tell you if you're thinking on a wrong path or whatever, of what you can change to change an outcome. So with that said, all the positions said, very important cards that you need to look at. When you go through it, always, of course, I start with my center card and I work down and I work all the way around, and then I work up the staff with what's going on. Important cards that you need to look at. First of all, add up, find your elements: fire, earth, air, water. See what's strong and what's weak. This will tell you what strengths that you have to use, or that you're using too much of, or and also the things that are missing that that need to be worked on with the entire situation. Everything in life is about trying to create balance. So bringing those factors in make a big difference. Now, cards working together. Your first and your second card, you definitely, these are your central cards, and these need to be read together. Always look at these cards and see what they're saying, seeing what these two cards together, because this is the heart of everything, of the entire spread of how it works. Okay, next you're going to look at cards number 3 and number 5, and remember, always look all the way through. Your conscious, currently things are coming, or the unconscious, things are kind of in between the unconscious, but you're also conscious of the current situation and where you're currently thinking. But your unconscious and your conscious, take a look at these two cards, see how they interact together, see how they're working together. Okay, because of the simple fact, you're going to be able to find out what's going on within you personally, and on different levels, on the internal level and the external level of how things are playing out. And this right here is going to be a major factor. Okay, now the next cards are cards 4 and card 6 right here, the past and the future. Well, again, read these across this way. What's this card, and this card? What's going on there? What are they saying together? The reason you want to look at these cards is because the fact that past events are of course going to affect the the events that are currently going on in your life and which direction you're going with that right now. Okay, now get in to a little deeper here and coming in more outer world. You want to take a long, strong look at 7 and 8 together on your staff. The reason you want to look at 7, 8 is, as I've said before, the way you see yourself and the way the outer world is perceiving you is always completely different. This will help you if the outer world's seeing one thing about you and you're seeing something that's completely, totally different. This will allow you to get a view of what other people are seeing. So this is very important. Looking at these two cards together, you find out about the relationships between you and your environment and other people. Okay, now as I said once before, card 9 here is going to tell you something you need to know. This is about your hopes and your fears. Do you have a hope or do you have a fear that's relevant in the situation? This is going to also be an influence on this final card right here. Your final card, the card 10, is the projected outcomes. Now, projected outcomes means the energies that are going on in your life, the conscious decisions that you're making is heading you in this direction, and that energy moving in that same path is going to bring you to this situation here. Your final outcome. The final outcome can be changed if you make the decision on a conscious level. But what helps me very strongly at looking, and the reason readings are mainly right is it's very, very difficult for people in general going along a certain path unless they're deep into meditation, especially transformational meditation, to change the way they think and the way they do. And this is the reason that readings will come out correct all the time, but oftentimes they won't if they make different decisions. And you need to take a look at these cards right here, your thought process and where you're going. These three right here are very, very important with figuring out how a reading is going. Always look at these. This will give you a stronger picture, this triad right here, of what's going on. Now, I hope that helped everybody. I wanted to go ahead and go through that. I hope you enjoy it and everybody got something out of it. Thank you very much.